It's been a long time coming, but it's finally here. The rematch we've all been waiting for. After recent events have put a stop to almost all new movies slated to be coming out in 2020, Godzilla vs. Kong is here to get people back in the theaters. Is it good enough to do its job and pull it off? Let's find out in this review of Godzilla vs. Kong 2021. Godzilla vs. Kong is the fourth film in Legendary's Monsterverse, directed by Adam Wingard, starring Millie Bobby Brown reprising her role from 2019's Godzilla King of the Monsters, and Alexander Skarsgård. This video stars the subscribe button to Film Run Reviews, the pressing of which will grant you with awesome and hilarious sci-fi reviews, and memes uploaded straight into your YouTube feed. This video is going to be a little different from my other reviews in that it will feature less editing. I'm trying to get this one out as soon as possible, so bear with me. First, let's go over a bit of history to get some context about this film, before I go into the review. The internet first caught a whiff of Godzilla vs. Kong when the Monsterverse was confirmed following the release of Godzilla 2014, in the lead up to Kong Skull Island. It was fated to be a rematch of 1962's King Kong vs. Godzilla, and I could not wait. I was cautiously optimistic. In 2015, every major studio was fiending for a shared universe so they can make big money like Disney and their MCU. And you know, I'm not going to bash Legendary or Warner Brothers for chasing the bag, as long as they deliver decent films. And they did with the past 3 installments of the Monsterverse. That's a lot more than some others could say, DC Universe, but I'll get back to that one later. Godzilla vs. Kong was supposed to come out in November 2020, but was delayed due to certain events which shall not be named, along with some other movies that were supposed to come out that year and early 2021. In a controversial move, Warner Bros. Decided to release the movie both in theaters and on HBO Max at the same time. While I kind of understand the reasoning behind this, I don't like it. The movie with giant lizard versus giant monkey should be seen on a large screen. Watching it on a regular sized TV or, God forbid, a phone would not be doing the movie justice. They should have released it to theaters and then wait at least a week or two to release it on HBO Max. But it finally came out, so here we are. Also, massive spoilers in this video from here on out, so if you don't want to be spoiled, skip ahead to here to avoid them. You have been warned. The plot. 5 years after Godzilla King of the Monsters, Kong lives in a dome on Skull Island, being watched over and studied by Monarch. He is generally peaceful and has befriended a deaf girl that communicates with him using sign language. Monarch wants Kong to lead the way to the Hollow Earth, so they put him on a raft and attempt to take him to Antarctica. On the way there, Godzilla senses Kong is being transported and decides to attack. The battle on the ocean is amazing. Both fighters are smart and use what they can to their advantage, but I would say Kong is a bit smarter.
Kong is a thinking animal.
Kong picks up a plane to throw at Godzilla, but there is just no way Kong could possibly win in a fight against Godzilla on the water. Godzilla does what you'd expect and fights like a crocodile, trying to get Kong into the water and drown him. I really felt fear for Kong and genuinely wondered how he is going to get out of the situation alive, given that it was only halfway in. Beating Godzilla, a semi-aquatic creature, is out of the question. Swimming away is out of the question because Kong can't outswim Godzilla, and Godzilla is completely bloodlusted, so he won't show mercy. I would have sworn it was over for Kong, but Monarch does something pretty clever. Kong, tired, barely escapes to one of the boats and lays down to rest on one. Godzilla looks above the waves, pleased at the destruction he has caused. And instead of just resuming towards Antarctica, what's left of the fleet realizes that if they start moving again, Godzilla will resume attacking. So they come up with the plan of airlifting Kong to Antarctica instead. Meanwhile, Millie's character Madison is on a mission to find out why Godzilla is attacking people for seemingly no reason. She's accompanied by a friend named Julian. They meet an undercover engineer that works for a company called Apex. He runs a podcast, and I enjoyed this character. He's one of those, it's a government conspiracy, man, type of dudes. And that's a strength of this movie. It has just enough character to keep me invested, but not too much of the human characters because it knows what I paid to see. So the trio of Madison, her friend, and Bernie find out that Apex is keeping skullcrawlers and using them as test subjects for Mechagodzilla, which they have been building in secret using the skulls of the defeated King Ghidorah. It is revealed that Kong can communicate via sign language, kind of like the apes from the Rise of the Apes trilogy. I really feel the connection between Kong and the girl. She is Kong's link to humanity and being more than just a stupid, ugly monster. I got the sense that Monarch is just using Kong for profit, but no, Kong is in charge here. He is respected. Monarch needs to just point Kong in the right direction and give him a means to find more of his kind. Kong leads them to the center of the earth, where he finds an axe embedded into a Godzilla skull. Brutal. Kong sits on a throne looking like the king he is. A gripe I have about this movie is Rebecca Hall's character acting surprised when Monarch wants to harness the energy given off by the planet. That's literally the entire reason they are there, and she knows it. Godzilla, sensing something is up, shoots a beam into the ground through half of the entire planet at Kong. This right here, this is a feat. Godzilla is nothing to play with. It reminds me of when Godzilla shoots a meteor heading for Earth in Final Wars. By the way, I love the idea of a hollow Earth. It's an interesting concept, along with the whole gravitational inversion this movie plays around with. So while Godzilla is destroying Hong Kong, his second time rampaging here by the way, Kong climbs up the hole Godzilla made. And here the real battle between Godzilla and King Kong begins. It's spectacular, stupendous, just wow. What a great battle this was. It seems like Godzilla and Kong are evenly matched now that the fight is on land and King Kong has an axe to block Godzilla's beam. But Godzilla still dominates the fight. Both characters are still respected. My favorite scene is when Godzilla roars in King Kong's face, after he has Kong pinned on the ground, and Kong just screams back. This scene is just gold, pure rage and animosity. Godzilla respects Kong as an opponent and leaves him on the ground to die. Mechagodzilla then gets deployed to finish off Godzilla, but King Ghidorah takes over the machine. Very similar to what happens in Godzilla against Mechagodzilla. Those that have seen my top 5 Godzilla movies will know that Godzilla against Mechagodzilla is one of my favorites in the franchise. While Mechagodzilla bashes Godzilla's head into buildings, Kong has his heart defibrillated using energy obtained in the Hollow Earth. This gives Kong his second wind in a callback to the one he got in 1962. The girl tells him that Godzilla is not his enemy in a pretty touching scene, so that Kong will help him out in defeating the possessed Mechagodzilla, who has begun destroying the city. Kong manages to get the final blow and lifts the severed head of Mechagodzilla up in victory. Even though we didn't see much of Mechagodzilla until the end of this movie, this scene is still very satisfying. Even though Kong lost against Godzilla twice, he gets the win overall against the greater threat. The characters. Alexander Skarsgård is alright. He serves his purpose, but wasn't all that memorable to me. At first I thought he was going to be a villain of some sort, out to take advantage of Kong for profit. JayR was one of the best human elements of this movie. It's rare to see a decent child actor in these kinds of movies, but it's pulled off well here. Millie Bobby Brown is well acted here. She's always decent if I'm being honest. This is the third thing I've seen her in, and I look forward to the rest of her career. Brian Tyree Henry does a good job as Bernie. His character is like a comedic version of Bryan Cranston from the 2014 movie that started all of this. He's very skeptical of everything and just knows something bad is going on. Damien Bichir plays the CEO of Apex. I understand his motivation, as humans would not be able to tolerate not being at the top of the food chain. And because of that, he serves his purpose well. Next, I would like to take a break and talk about some of the circumstances surrounding this movie after it came out in some places. Particularly the ones regarding it and fans of the Snyder Cut of Justice League, bombing this movie with bad reviews in hopes that Warner Bros. Will continue the DC universe with Zack Snyder. This is a very scummy thing to do. The people that made this movie put in a lot of hard work and waited extra time for this movie to come out. They didn't do that just to make a vehicle for disgruntled fans to voice their opinions on something that has nothing to do with it, no matter how good Justice League Snyder Cut is. The people that do these false reviews, they're human garbage. This is the kind of behavior on the internet that kind of pisses me off. Now, back to the review. Effects and callbacks. This movie's effects are great. There aren't any moments where the effects take me out of the movie and make me realize I'm watching CGI. Maybe it will upon rewatching, but for now, I'm impressed at how far CGI has come in these big Hollywood productions. Also, this movie is full of callbacks to older Toho Godzilla movies. Veteran Godzilla fans will have a good time picking out all the little details and moments referencing the original Godzilla vs. King Kong. I got a scene that was similar to what I was looking for that I talked about in my top 5 video. The best part is that these callbacks don't feel like fan service. They don't feel like the studio is winking at me, so I'll say, Oh wow, I remember that thing from the previous thing. That makes this movie good. Viewers of this channel will know that I hate that. Conclusion. Godzilla vs. Kong delivers on big kaiju action set pieces, while giving respect to both monsters that have shaped the genre since the 1930s and 1950s. It is just enough human characters to get things going and maintain a level of investment. It adds character to our monsters, and gives us a definitive victor that makes sense. I can't complain about the last minute final boss because it's also entertaining. If all you care about is deep, meaningful cinema, this ain't it. But this movie fulfills its purpose of being entertaining, and that's what I watch movies like this for. I hope this movie revives the theater-going experience because I love going to the theaters. Seriously, go see this movie in theaters if you can. I'm telling you, it deserves to be seen how it was originally intended. And that's my review of Godzilla vs. Kong. Leave what you think about this movie in the comments. I try to read every single one of them. If you like this video, hit like and subscribe if you haven't already. Check out my other videos if this is your first one, including my top 5 Godzilla movies video. I think you'll enjoy it if you're a huge Goji fan. Anyway, drink some water, go see this in theaters, all that jazz. Have a good one.